Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome everybody, guys. Today we'll take a look at the New Zealand dollar because I actually briefly among the major currencies and just found that Kiwi has the most clear setup among the majors, and for the trading this is very important moment. So maybe we do not really trade a lot of New Zealand dollar, and mostly focused on the Great British Pound and the Euro currency. But for trader, usually the clearance of this setup is the major factor. I will choose New Zealand dollar if I have the more clear setup here than Euro currency. Besides, on Kiwi has very interesting fundamental background right now in the Commitment Traders report. So I think that it will be interesting to you to read the research that they have prepared today. But as usual in the video, we will focus mostly on the daily setup and what we'll be watching for on the coming week and then in Monday in particular. So on the daily chart, at the first glance, you could recognize easily the potential head and shoulders pattern. So you can see this left shoulder is head, it could become the right shoulder, market could drop lower. But actually, guys, if you will take a look at the high time frames, particularly speaking weekly, you will see that on the last week here we've got bullish grabber that has been formed on the weekly chart. And this bullish grabber suggests the taking out of this stop. And in general, the targets that we have on the monthly chart, the patterns that we have there, and the patterns on the weekly chart mostly suggest the upward action. So it means that here, it's really big chance that head and shoulders will either fail. For example, market will start form right shoulder, but at some moment will turn up and taking out the head. This could happen, or market could not, maybe will not form at all the head and shoulders, so it could be starting upward action. Market just could continue creep higher. This is also possible because when you see the bullish patterns on the high time frames, this is more important because the high time frames overrule the lower time frames, so it's more important. That's why right now I has the doubts on the head and shoulders on the daily chart, especially because it is very clear and transparent pattern and everybody sees this right now. That's what about this pattern. So now the question is how we could go up and where and how we could take the long position. So in the previous video on Friday, we already have discussed that market has formed pretty nice bullish engulfing pattern, right? At the support, trade support, this trend line, but also, guys, this is not just this VIP support and trend line, this long-term weekly trend line, and also this is, guys, the weekly pivot support bar. Usually, the minimum target of the engulfing pattern is the length of the bar, so it means that market somehow could show that some upward action. Usually it takes the shape of the EBCD on intraday charts to the 74 area approximately. But the start of the upward action could be from different levels. It could be right here, it could be some kind of the double bottom, or almost from the lows. It could be different. Second important pattern, guys, that we have, this tweezer stop. This tweezer stop is very important because usually this reversal pattern, as you can see here, I just marked few tweezers. So here was the tweezer top, here was tweezer top. Right now we have the tweezer top again. So the tweezers not necessarily leads to major reversals. Sometimes the action after the tweezers is just a single candle down. Sometimes it's really trend is here, so we see the 3 tweezers and then market just has dropped. But this pattern for us is important. Why? Because we expect the upward action, but tweezers gives the hint that probably the upward action will not start right from the 70 to 80 area where market stands right now. Probably we should see some minor, at least the one candle downward action here on the daily chart before real upward action will start. That's importance of the tweezers right now. Because overall, we have the bullish picture on the monthly, on the weekly chart, on the daily chart as well. And that's why we can't just suggest right now that tweezers will put the starting for collapse here. This of course could happen, but in this case our bullish step will be vanished. But since we are mostly discussing the bullish step here, and we have some reasons for that, that's why we treat tweezers as just the additional factor that gives us more information on the depth of the retracement inside of the engulfing pattern. That's major purpose of the tweezers right now. And finally, guys, here we also could get the double repo buy pattern, because number of candles here is sufficient for us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. This is necessary requirement number of bars for the Napoli directional pattern. On this move up, market hasn't reached the 3-8 resistance of this thrust down, as you will see on the hourly chart. And tweezers suggest the deeper retracement. That's very typical for the double repo, where we usually want to see the approximately equal bottoms of the double repo pattern. So it means that market indeed could show the deep retracement back closer to these levels before upper directional study. So that's what we're watching for. That's very important moments that brings more information and shed some light on the perspective of going long here. Now let's turn to the hourly chart. On the hourly chart, guys, we have the same hour reverse head and shoulders pattern that probably will put foundation for upward action, and that will be the trigger and pattern for a long-term upside journey on the weekly chart and the monthly chart. And all the stuff that we have discussed on the daily chart leaves us to conclusion that here we probably will get some kind of the A, B, C top pattern. In this case, we could watch for two extensions. The first, the AB equals CD pattern. It's approximately 72.76. Next one is 1618 extension around 72.40. This ABCD 1618 extension. I think that on information that we have from the daily suggests that we suggesting of the getting 1618 extension, or at least 127 inside of this range, is more appropriate. And take a look, the 1618 also coincides with the common weekly pivot support line, and it's in general closer to the bottom of the left shoulder that we have on this and shoulders pattern. As a result, we could get perfect godless triple to buy pattern on the hourly chart. So it's initial thrust up, ABCD deep retracement. So it means that probably our entry signal, some entry pattern, will be formed somewhere in this area. So 72.40, 72.70 area. So somewhere in these areas, this downward action should stop. Maybe here will be also 127 extension around 72.57, something in this area, where market really could stop. As a result, we could get godless triple to buy, and that will be the pattern for taking the long position. So deep retracement here is more logical from perspective of daily double repo and from the tweezers top pattern. So it means that some kind of the, not 100%, but either 127 or 1618 extension probably is more appropriate. So where stands the 127? Let's check this out. So we'll see this. Right. 72.60. So that's, and it makes an agreement on the 72.65 major fib support. So that's the extensions probably that will be logical to watch for. Also, guys, what's another attractive factor here, attractive moment, because guys, invalidation points then 72.20 lows. If you will get the position at approximately even 72.60, this is really very close to an invalidation point, which provide reasonable risk on the whole this construction that we have. So as you can see, setup on the New Zealand dollar indeed is very interesting and has some nuances that not really very obvious. That could become the decisive role in this overall process. For target estimation, you could take a look at our weekly research, so there you will see how far market could reach within the few weeks. We have some targets on the weekly chart, we have some targets on the monthly chart. So let's see how it will turn.